Hello and welcome to Parent University Kickoff here at the School District of Lee County. We're so excited to have all our parents and families join us. My name is Irma Lancaster, Director of Strategic Communications.
And I'm Adam Malloy, Coordinator of Community Engagement, and we are thrilled to have you along with us for the first learning session of Parent University.
As we mentioned, we are kicking off Parent University, so I'm sure a lot of families out there are wondering, what is Parent University all about? Well, we're here to tell you a little bit about what we have in store for the rest of the school year for our families. Isn't that right, Adam?
Oh, Parent University is an amazing opportunity for us to work with parents, listen to what they need more information on, and try to provide it in a very engaging and entertaining fashion. And we're going to do this the first Thursday of every single month.
All the way up until May, where we'll hopefully culminate with a graduation type of event.
Oh, this is going to be fantastic. What a new way for us to connect district, parent, and school site.
And so some of the goals here are really to provide our families with more information on how they can support their child's education and their own. So they'll be learning some things that can help them develop as well.
Oh, the theory behind Parent University is really to get these parents engaged as becoming a lifelong learner. And we know that the students will benefit as a result of that.
And so what do we have in store today? I know we have several guests, so we're starting with our district guest, our Chief Academic Officer, who's going to talk about supporting your child's virtual learning and also face-to-face. And one of the things I know we discussed as we were putting this together was how to get our community involved and also making them a part of this monthly session program that will be taking place. And we have a special guest today that I'm excited to join us for the.
Am I allowed to share it?
Yeah, sure, why not?
So we have our very own sheriff here, and I think that this represents the school district's attempt. You know, it's one community, one school district. We want to have a community member on each and every session so that we can walk through this, this time together.
And of course, activity for the whole family.
Oh, I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, maybe we'll take a look behind the scenes and also, do some practicing of that activity. All right, but before we get into all of that, our superintendent has a special welcome message for all our families.
Welcome, parents and families. We're excited to launch Parent University with you tonight. This unique engagement opportunity is important as we try to best support our students in these challenging times. Parent University will expand and strengthen our connection with parents and families by offering learning sessions throughout the school year. I've seen historic levels of community engagement throughout the pandemic, and it is my hope to maximize the relationship between the school district and community for the betterment of our students. I know the more engaged and involved parents are, the greater likelihood there is to improve student outcomes. Parent University will add to the school district's efforts to reach our community. I envision Parent University as a framework for strengthening the bonds between parents, teachers, and school sites. The ultimate goal of Parent University is to engage parents as authentic partners, advocates, and lifelong teachers in their child's education. I recognize the potential Parent University has in supporting parents at home and eventually as on-campus leaders. Tonight's learning session is timely for those parents inquiring on how to best support their virtual learner. I thank you for your patience as our school district continues to make the necessary adjustments to provide the best learning environment for our students. As a lifelong educator, I understand the obstacles that both student and teacher face in the new virtual models. The better we learn and teach together, the stronger we are. It is my pleasure to introduce School Board Chair Mary Fisher.
Thank you, Dr. Adkins. On behalf of the School Board of Lee County, I would like to welcome parents and guardians to Parent University's first learning session. Parent University has the opportunity to authentically connect with families and empower parents with the knowledge and experiences to best support their child's learning. Having worked for many years as a school counselor, I know the importance of family engagement, and Parent University has the potential to transform parent involvement as we know it. I know that these are difficult times for parents, and that if each child is to reach his or her highest personal potential, we have to work together. The school board appreciates the efforts that both district staff and parents are making to partner in education and support their child's development. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Atkins and School Board Chair Mary Fisher, for your welcome and for your support. When we come back, our colleague Adam Wright sits down with Dr. Jeff Spiro, Chief Academic Officer.
I cannot say enough how much we appreciate this equipment.
You have a great day. Take good care now.
Not seeing them was what was getting to me. And I saw Zoom. I was like, I've got to figure out a way to make this happen.
So it's what do we need to do for the students? What do we need to do for the families? How can we help them in this time to make them feel comfortable and that they still have a schedule?
I just want to say, I appreciate all the teachers for everything they do, and they're heroes.
Welcome back to Parent University. I'm Adam Wright, and I am joined by our Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Jeff Spiro. Dr. Spiro, thanks for being here.
Adam, thank you for having me at Parent University. This is an exciting new endeavor for the district, and I'm thankful to be part of it.
All right, well, thanks for being here again. And we're going to be discussing ways that you as parents can get more involved in your child's education. But first, we're a few weeks into the new school year here. It's quite a different school year than we're used to. Can you give us a brief update, Dr. Spiro, on how things are going? Let's start with face-to-face instruction. So how are things going with the students and staff who are in the school buildings?
So first off, I'd agree with you. We're definitely off to a unique start to the school year. I think this is one that's for the books. Every single teacher in Lee County has had the opportunity to relearn how they're doing their craft as an educator. So first off, I want to say thank you to our teachers and to our administrators in Lee County. Thank you for our parents for the patience that they had as our teachers are learning this new craft and this way of using technology to enhance engagement for our students. So face-to-face instruction, I think face-to-face instruction is going extremely well in our schools. We have the safety and health protocols that are in place. Our teachers are doing a magnificent job with face-to-face. I think our greatest challenge right now with our teachers are those that have to balance the hybrid model, those that have to balance the Lee Home Connect with the face-to-face students simultaneously. I think for our teachers, that's been the greatest challenge for them. They're rising to the challenge, and I'm seeing many great innovative ideas that our teachers are using to help support students face-to-face and then Lee Home Connect. And of course, our Lee Home Connect students, I'd like to talk a little bit about that today, maybe some ways that our parents can help their students at home, so I'd like to make sure we touch on that. And then of course our Lee Virtual students as well. So everybody is where they're going to be right now in the world of Lee Virtual School for the first semester. So they have now gotten into their routine, and they'll be there until January.
What are some things you're hearing about the Home Connect from parents, students? Is it going relatively smoothly?
So there are a couple pieces with Lee Home Connect, I think, that are doing well and some areas that are a challenge. Let me start with the challenging piece first. I think that our Lee Home Connect students certainly are having that challenge of making that connection with the teacher and the students in their class. There's something about being face-to-face, about seeing your teacher in person and your classmates in person. So we recognize there may be some sort of digital divide of a disconnect between that energy of the teacher in the classroom and the students with Lee Home Connect. And I know Lori Brooks, who's our director of school counselors, is working on our social emotional learning plan specifically tied to our Lee Home Connect students so that we can help bridge that gap between students at home and the classroom. So I would say that's the greatest challenge. What is going well are that our students who are still at home are still engaging with their teachers. They're receiving that same curriculum, they're getting the same resources that every student would face-to-face. We see many of our teachers continuing to provide office hours for our students so that if they need that extra support, that they're able to reach out to those teachers and get the help that he or she needs.
All right, we'll get to some tips for parents in just a second, but right before that, the end of the quarter is coming up at the end of October, which means that students will have the opportunity to switch instructional models if they so desire. How can a parent do that? What's the process for switching if they want to go from face-to-face to Home Connect or vice versa, or what's the process?
So first off, if you're a Leave Virtual student, remember Leave Virtual students, you're going to remain as a Leave Virtual student all the way through the end of the first semester, so that is through January. So that option is not for you any longer because we let you make multiple choices all the way through September 11th. For students that are currently Leave Home Connect and face-to-face students, they are going to be sent, those parents will be sent a form that will allow them to fill out a form that says, currently I'm a Leave Home Connect student, I want to return face-to-face back to my school. And they'll complete that form. That form will be sent to parents on October 5th. Parents will have from October 5th through October 16th a 2-week window to complete that form and turn it in. Now, after the 16th, that's going to allow our assistant principals for curriculum to go ahead and work on those master schedules and have school ready for the second quarter, which will start on November 2nd. Now, there's a couple key pieces I think that's going to be important for our community to know. One, of course, we're going to have all the health and safety features in place. Those will always remain. However, if we do have a large number of students return back to school, there is no guarantee of the social distancing that we have in place right now because obviously as the numbers increase, the opportunity to social distance does become less. The other piece is because of the way master schedules are built for secondary, for middle and high school students in particular, there's no guarantee that a student will come back and have the same teacher, the same course period. So for example, I have English period 1, math period 2. They may not be in that same sequence as well. So if they're moving from Leave Home Connect to face-to-face or face-to-face to Leave Home Connect, there may be some changes to their schedule. So I just want parents to know those things, that social distancing may be limited and the way their teachers and classes are set up may be altered depending upon the master schedule.
And the form that they'll get, does that come in the mail?
It'll be a survey, electronic survey, that'll be sent to them.
Okay.
So look for that link coming to you.
October 5th.
October 5th, sir.
All right. Okay, so what, Dr. Spiro, are some other ways, other than staying on top of their instructional model, looking for that form, what are other ways that parents can get more involved and help support their child's education?
So let me talk to my Leave Home Connect parents in particular right now, my Leave Virtual parents as well. So anybody who's doing virtual education, whether it's hybrid or any one of those models, I think a couple strategies can be put into place that will really help. First off, I would say make sure your student has a workspace and try not to have that workspace be in the bedroom. Somewhere where there's a clear kind of a desk area that says, hey, this is business for me right now. I've got my laptop here, I have my papers, I have my books, I'm going to work. So make sure they have a clear workspace. Secondly, let's have that schedule posted up. It's on the refrigerator, it might be on a bulletin board that may be at home, but post your child's schedule so he or she knows that this is what my day looks like. I think that's very important. The other piece is if I'm a parent, I'm getting ready to go to work, and my student's going to be at home. When you set your child up on the Chromebook, make sure that everything is closed out of that Chromebook except for the Zoom. We believe that closing out everything in the browser history will help with any type of internet connectivity problems that a student may be having at home. Parents, I think it's important for you to access Google Classrooms. So a parent can access their student's Google Classroom. They can ask their child for the code, or they can email the teacher and ask for the code. And that way then the parent can see what are the assignments, what are the updates that are happening in Google Classroom, because every teacher has a Google Classroom, and that's really a great way for parents to stay on top of their child's progress. I would also say if it's a challenge in the morning for your child to get up and get that routine going, then think about the night before preparing some items. Get the clothes out the night before, get your workstation set up the night before, make sure you have breakfast already planned for your child, and that way when they get up, they know it's time for them to go to work as well. So I think those are some basic tips that can help. The other piece I would say for parents is don't be overly anxious to help your child if you're at home. You know, the teacher's the teacher of the classroom. They're working with the children virtually. In the classroom, it's good when a child grapples with content that they may not understand. That's part of the learning process. When parents are home and they want to jump in and they want to answer that question right away for their child, that doesn't help the child retain the information. The other piece I would tell you is if a school is giving a test, for example, an iReady test or a STAR assessment, as a parent, I know you probably want to make sure your child does the best they can in those assessments, but refrain from trying to give tips to your child on any type of those questions, because those assessments are used just to help gauge the learning. Where is my child? What does the teacher need to do to help progress that learning forward? So we use that as a benchmark. So parents, I know you're going to be tempted to help your child, but it's actually in your child's best interest that you don't do that. What we do need your help with, parents, is if your child is squirmy at home, they're getting a little bit of anxious in the learning environment, helping the child relax and be calm. That's where we need your help. Oftentimes, teachers will give a screen break for your child. Make sure your child steps away from the screen, get them up, actively move, stretch, get outside for a second, get some sunshine, get some hydrate with some water, which is great for the brain, before coming back. So those are just some basic tips for all of our virtual students.
Great tips. So I know that switching, did you want to talk about any face-to-face tips or anything like that? I mean, we're used to face-to-face instruction.
I know our teachers are doing an amazing job face-to-face, and they continue to do that. I would also say for our face-to-face students, make sure you know where your teacher's Google Classroom is, and parents as well. Know that Google Classroom even if you're face-to-face, because there might be a time a student is sent home or a class is sent home for quarantine because of COVID, and they will switch over to that Google Classroom. So it'll be important that students know how to access that information. I think our kids know how to do it. Parents, you need to ask for that code.
For the Home Connect and the Lee Virtual students, I know that online security may be a concern for some parents. I know that there were some issues. Miami-Dade Public Schools had some issues with their online learning system. What are some measures that, this is a two-part question, what are some measures that the district is taking to make sure that our online learning system is safe and secure? And then are there any tips for parents out there who, if they can talk to their student about some safety measures that they could take while they're in their online learning class?
Sure, great question. So I would say the first 2 days of school, we being in academic services, information systems, as a district, we grappled with a couple instances of Zoom bombing, as you would say. And then we re-looked at some of our security features that were in place. So for example, now teachers, when they log into Zoom, everybody's in that waiting room. Teachers only let in students that they know. Students are not able to change their name in Zoom. We have all mics muted right when students come on. That way that prevents anybody trying to say anything inappropriate if they're not supposed to be in that room. Kudos to our students. We saw a number of students who let teachers know, hey, this person's not supposed to be in this class, and teachers were able to really take care of that right away. Teachers can navigate the chat box, turn it on and off at their will, the same thing with the mute. So our teachers have done a really good job locking down those security features so it's just their kiddos. Parents at home, our information systems department actually created a safety guide for parents. And so if parents go to the leeschools.net website and you go to the Safe Reopening Plan, you will see at the bottom there are safety protocols in place, from common sense media to internet safety, to internet bullying, and they have pragmatic suggestions for parents to use right there at home.
Great. Okay, so switching gears to face-to-face learning. I know you touched on it briefly earlier, but we as a district are making sure that our classrooms and schools are as clean as possible during this time to help mitigate the spread of COVID-19. Are there any precautionary measures, other than making sure that their child has a mask before they go to school? Any other measures that parents and students can take to help mitigate the spread as well?
I would say don't become forgetful or lazy with the health and safety protocols that are in place. Hand washing, constant hand washing is one of the best safety mechanisms we know that is in place, recommended by the CDC. Of course, we know about masks. Hand sanitizers that are in place. Not sharing the materials. Coming to school with your water bottles already pre-filled so that you stay hydrated during the day. Just making sure that students become vigilant about their own safety around them, and making sure that we don't become lazy and loosening up those protocols, because they are having a positive impact in our school. and we want to make sure that we retain those same processes.
All right, Dr. Spiro, thank you so much. That's some great information. Anything else you'd like to say?
I would say, hey, keep doing what you're doing to our kids. You know, this is all about teaching and learning. We're thankful that you are here. We're here for you. And if you have any problems, reach out to your teachers, parents. If you have any problems, reach out to your teachers as well, because we are all in this together, and we want to make sure that all of our kids are successful no matter what level they're at.
All right, Dr. Jeff Spiro, Chief Academic Officer, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, a message from the Lee County Sheriff, and later a spooktacular activity for the whole family. But first, this quick message.
The School District of Lee County reminds you to practice your 3 W's for the health and safety of yourself and others. Wash your hands. Washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds will help protect you and prevent the spread of germs. If soap and water is not available, you can use hand sanitizer, which is readily available all around your school. Wear your mask. Face masks are meant to protect those around you in case you are infected. Masks should cover your nose and mouth, and you should continue to stay 6 feet apart from others when possible. Watch your distance. You should try to maintain 6 feet of distance between yourself and others. People who don't show symptoms can still spread the disease to others. The School District of Lee County thanks you for your cooperation in keeping yourself, your classmates, teachers, and staff safe.
As we mentioned at the beginning of the program, we want our community to be part of our monthly sessions. So now, a message from our Lee County Sheriff.
Good afternoon, students and parents. I'm Lee County Sheriff Carmine Marcino. I'm honored to be speaking to you this evening as part of the school board's Parent University. I want to start by saying that I know this school year has brought a new set of challenges to everyone. While some of you are attending school in person, others are learning virtually. No matter where you're learning from this year, know that as sheriff, the safety and security of all Lee County students is my #1 priority. Since I became sheriff, it has been my goal to place a school resource officer in every school as part of my Safe Kids, Safe Schools initiative. I'm proud to say that each and every school in Lee County has 1 SRO, and schools with a student population over 1,700 have 2 SROs. Let me assure you that while your students are learning virtually, all of our SROs are in the schools operating as if they were full capacity. We will continue to fully staff every school as we work through this pandemic together. All of our SROs are top-notch. Prior to the start of the school year, they completed a full week of active shooter training and critical incident training. Our SROs train throughout the year to make sure their skills stay sharp and they are ready to face anything. Every day, our deputies park near bus stops and school zones to enforce all traffic laws. We are cracking down on speeders and traffic violators in order to keep students safe. From the moment students leave their home in the morning until they return in the afternoon, their safety is my priority. With that being said, please know the Lee County Sheriff's Office takes every single threat against a school or student seriously. Any threat, whether it is written on a school wall or posted on social media or uttered in a hallway, is fully investigated. I understand that we are dealing with children. The last thing I want is for that child to end up with a felony arrest. However, it is my greatest responsibility to do everything in my power to keep our children safe while they get an education. Please understand that we do not simply make arrests. Any threat of violence toward a school or other students is fully investigated. Our working relationship with Dr. Atkins and this Lee County School District is second to none, and we will work to continue to cohesively address all threats. I know the pandemic has changed the way we do things. For those of you who still plan to go trick-or-treating, I want to give you some tips on how you can stay safe. Make sure to wear costumes that are bright or reflective, and add reflective tape to candy bags so drivers can easily see your children. A parent or responsible adult should always be accompanying young children. Make sure both children and adults have flashlights with new batteries. If your older children are going trick-or-treating alone, plan and review a route with them that you are comfortable with. Before they leave home, agree on a specific time for them to return. Only go to homes with a porch light on and never enter a home or a car for a treat. Remain on well-lit streets and always use the sidewalk. I want you all to have fun this Halloween, but remember, safety is number one.
Thank you, Sheriff, for that very special message. And speaking of Halloween, get ready for a spooktacular activity.
All right, thank you guys. Fantastic. Well, how's it going?
It's going great.
Yeah, happy to be here. I am Mr. Glenn from Super Science and Amazing Art. I'm here with Dr. Atkins, and we're going to be doing some science experiments.
Really cool. I haven't been in the classroom doing science in many, many years, so I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, and this is great stuff that you should be able to do at home with friends and family. Make sure you have a responsible adult, not Uncle Larry, not crazy Uncle Larry, a responsible adult that can actually do the experiments with you. Some of the experiments we have here, we're just going to do in the studio. So you'll know the difference. We'll tell you when we're going to do the ones that you can try and do at home, because the ones we're going to do in the studio are extremely dangerous. And because they're dangerous, Dr. Atkins, you're going to do those. So now, of course, we want to try and make it a little bit spookier here in the studio, right?
Okay.
So, did you think that ghost thing was cool?
Yeah.
Did you want to see something cooler?
Yeah.
Do you want to see something cooler? It's my cooler! Thank you. All right. So, doctor, what do you think is in my cooler? Do you have a hypothesis?
How about some soft drinks
and
water?
Nice. I have some sodas in here if anybody's thirsty. Oh, not soft drinks. Good hypothesis, though. Do you have another guess?
Maybe some hot dogs.
Some hot dogs, that would be
later.
good. You have to keep your
We're
meats
having a picnic later.
Okay, there you go. That's a good idea. Ah! Actually, it's ice, which is normally used for soft drinks and hot dogs and all that stuff, but this ice never gets wet. It's dry ice. So what I want to do is take the dry ice out over here, and the dry ice is what we use to make fog. Now, parents, I can tell you I get my dry ice at Publix. Children, I can't tell you where to get the dry ice. Now, if I take it like this, now you have a pair of gloves over there if you want to attempt this stuff right here. So we're going to take that. That's where you get the toil and trouble, boil and bubble. Sorry. So go ahead and grab a piece that would fit. So of course, dry ice is carbon dioxide. It's frozen carbon dioxide. It's actually made from when they make ammonia, it releases carbon dioxide gas. The carbon dioxide gas, and you can store it right inside there. The more inside there, the more bubbly it is. It's working.
Oh, that's cool.
So this is how they do effects in movies, right? When the guy's like, it's working, it's working. So that's what we got right there. So we got the bubbles. Now, of course, this gas is going which way? Is it going up or down?
It's going up and then down.
Yeah, so if you look at it, just kind of go look at that, but if you look, it's going right down like this, and now it's covering. That's what makes that really cool fog effect, because it's cold, it's going down. Also, carbon dioxide is more dense than the gas in the air, so it goes down. I'm gonna put a little bit more in just because I like this stuff.
So it's going up in the liquid and down in the gas.
Exactly right. So yeah, so then it goes, so it's actually expanding out here, gas down, so it goes down like that. So that means the gas has weight. Now we want to prove that gas has mass. I can capture it. Here, I put this on it. Hit, get, hoot, get. It's alive!
Dr. Frankenstein over here.
So as it's bubbling up, you can see it's actually taking up space inside the balloon. So it not only has mass, because we saw that it went down, it actually takes up space. So, question for the people at home. If it takes up space and has mass, what is it? If you said matter, you're absolutely right. Give them a round of applause, because you know they said matter. They all said matter. Why does it matter? Does matter matter? What's the matter? So here we go. So there he is. Now you might say, okay, Mr. Glenn, I'm probably not going to get this. So I know, Dr. Atkins, you probably don't have dry ice at your house.
Nope.
And you probably won't go out and get it.
Probably not.
So you might want to do this experiment with something you have at your house, right?
Yep. Yep, sure.
Hopefully you're doing experiments at home. That's the whole point. All right, so here we go. So we're going to take Frank here. Hey, was that Frank? Who is this guy? Who?
Fred.
Okay, Fred and Frank. Okay, now we got it. All right, we're going to take him. Oh, wait. Well, look at that. That was so cool. All right, so you might not have your dry ice and your beaker at home, but you might have a bottle, and it doesn't have to be a 2-liter bottle. It could be a 16-ounce bottle or whatever you have there. What we want to do is pour it in there. So because this part's dangerous, I want you to do it. Here we go. So here we go. So we're going to put this in there. I'm going to say it's about half.
Half, okay.
Maybe 1/3.
All right.
I don't really know, but it could bubble up all over everything. Okay, ready? Okay, you're good? Pull! There we go. Same reaction, or same thing, different reaction. So right now, this is actually this carbon dioxide in the solid state turning into the gas state. Here, this is actually carbon dioxide being released by the vinegar and the baking soda. So of course, the more you put in, the more bigger the head gets. But there it is. You put little arms on the guy and be like, moo. So it's the bubbling Frankenstein. Yay.
All right. Fantastic.
All right. There we go. So now we're going to do one more, which you can't have a Halloween anything. You can't have any kind of fall festival without slime.
Oh.
Right? So in order to do that, I gave you a bowl over there. Yeah, you have to. It's a staple. It's kind of like, Thanksgiving, you need to have like porridge. So anyway, here we have, go ahead and pull your bowl over here, and we have different types of glue. This is where the experiment comes in, and most of our students, right, are professional slime makers.
I'm sure they are.
They make slime all the time, and they make slime with all these different things, and they tell you what the best thing is. But right now, we're going to go with the standard. We're going to use baking powder.
Okay.
And would you use, here, grab your glue over there. Would you prefer to use the clear glue or the white glue?
White's fine.
Okay, very good. So we have that right there. And also we can use color. This is washable tempera paint in water. And so because it's Halloween, we're gonna make green. So yellow and blue make green. Look at that, science, art, boom. All right, and then, what do we got? Contact lens solution. All right, so go ahead and open up your glue. I'll open up my glue. And we just pour it right in there.
How come mine doesn't make sounds like that?
I have the special bottle.
Special bottle.
I bought, it says, look, sounds included.
Oh.
All right, here we go. So now, we're gonna ask them, actually you can choose whatever color you want. Since we have the primary colors here, what color would you like to turn your slime? And because you have white, you're tinting it. So.
I want to try the green.
Want to try the green? Okay, there you go. You get a little bit there. I'll try some, I'll just do red. I don't know why red causes that reaction. All right, so. That should be more, that was a different sound. Let me try again. There we go. Oh, that is a whole lot. We're gonna see what happens. All right, that's the beauty of science too. Just mix it, and then hopefully you're keeping track of what you did so you can do it later. All right, so we're just gonna one finger, and here, I brought you some napkins. There you go, okay. All right. So I heard you're a bit of a geologist.
A little bit.
Yeah?
Back in the day.
What's your favorite rock?
Oh, that's a good question. Diamond.
Oh, that's, so yeah. I have every rock except for diamond, so if anyone wants to donate, we are, because we do rock scratch tests, and we can't scratch test all rocks unless we have diamonds, so feel free to donate your diamonds. Okay, so keep mixing. You got that one? I'm gonna see what happens with yours. I did bring extra glue, so maybe you should.
Add a little bit more glue.
There you go.
All righty.
I'm a trained slime professional, so this is where.
Yeah, I am not.
Slime all the time.
This would have been good to know in 7th grade.
See, exactly right. So, all right, so we got that in there. Now, I have no idea if yours is going to work, but here.
I do, not.
I had napkin, here we go. One of the things I always bring napkins, so you got that right there. And all right, so now we're going to add our other ingredients. And in this case, I've tried many different ways. I can add the baking soda first, or I can add the eye contact solution first, whatever you want. Now, parents at home, if you don't have contact solution, it's not that you can just go get some, but there's other ways to do it. You can use borax laundry soap. If you just have borax laundry soap water, put it in with the soap, but this is what makes the gooey stuff gooey. Why don't you start with that? Okay. I'd say use a lot. And then I'm gonna start with this. Okay. Oh, yep, you are a scientist. That's amazing. All right, here we go. So that's a lot. And now let me put that over here. Okay, and then one finger. Mountain. All right, here we go. Let me show you how much I put in. Okay, so now we're just gonna, this is the beauty of experiments. If you don't know, you take a hypothesis. Every time we dump something in, it's a hypothesis. That actually looks like it's working. You're gonna get like bits of slime and bits of something else.
It is a type of slime, but
you're gonna invent a new way to do this. It's awesome. All right, a little bit more of this in there. And I totally forgot I was, okay. All right, so put that there. la 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 la.
I think I could make biscuits with this.
You really could. They would fluff up too.
Yeah,
They'd be nice and fluffy. They'd be good.
Pancakes.
Well, thank you, Dr. Atkins. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it sure was.
And we were just playing with this a little bit ago because it's just fun, you know.
Oh yeah.
So even it is slime, and it's just
it's different kind of slime.
It is. It's a runnier version.
It's not epic failure slime.
And of course, we have the slime over here, which looks pretty good. Now, of course, if you love this kind of stuff and you want to check us out, we have some activities that you can join us in person or you can join us online through Facebook. And you can actually get a materials list to kind of follow along in some other activities we'll be doing on Halloween. So you can go to purefl.com and you'll get more information on what we're doing and how to meet up with us and have some fun times. So also, before we go anywhere, we'd like to thank the Parent University.
Fantastic.
Yeah, without them, we wouldn't be making a mess here. So thank you, Parent University. And Irma and Adam, back to you.
Well, that Spooktacular activity was really fun.
Oh, I loved it. I can't wait to try that with my kids at home.
Well, that activity, I think, concludes our program for today. Can you believe we got through it? What fantastic information we had to share with our families. We hope that they thought so as well.
And I'm so excited too, Irma, to see this move forward. Every single month we're going to be trying to educate our parents, trying to connect with our parents on the most important topics that they choose.
And we want to make sure they're involved. So we're going to be sending a follow-up survey to find out what you thought of our first program and also to hear from you and what those topics are that you'd like to hear about in the future. And we'll continue to provide district guests and community guests as well.
Yeah, this is something every Thursday, the first Thursday of every month. And make sure that you register at Parent University at leeschools.net, complete the follow-up survey. And please, if you have any questions, make sure to reach out to that email because we want to do this together. We understand that this is a very trying time and we want to be connected with you as we move through this year.
And that's how you get credit for attendance, but you also will be entered to win a special prize that we'll tell you about during next month's program. So just make sure you RSVP, join us, comment, and follow up on that survey and we'll get entered into winning that prize. Well, I guess this is it, Adam. We'll see everybody next time, right?
Oh, this is exciting. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, families. We'll see you next month.